Pizza has a long past. The Egyptians, Romans, and Greeks of the past ate flatbreads with sauces. This version was made with herbs and oil, like focaccia is today. But the city of Naples in the Campania area of southern Italy is where pizza was made for the first time in the modern era. Naples began as a Greek town around 600 BC, and in the 1700s and early 1800s, it was a busy port city. Even though it was technically a separate country, it was known for having a lot of working poor people, or lazzaroni. Karol Helstowski, the author of Pizza, a global history and an associate professor of history at the University of Denver, says, the closer you got to the bay, the more people lived there, and many of them lived outside or in homes that were not much more than a room. These people from Naples needed cheap food that they could eat quickly. This need was met by pizza, which is a dough with different toppings that can be eaten at any meal and is sold by street sellers and small restaurants. Helstowski says that critical Italian writers often called the way they ate disgusting. The poor people of Naples ate the first pizzas, which were topped with tasty things like tomatoes, cheese, oil, sardines, and garlic. Italy became one country in 1861, and in 1889, King Umberto I and Queen Margherita went to Naples. The story goes that the two travelers got tired of eating French haute food every day and asked Pizzeria Brandi, which took over from Da Pietro, which had opened in 1760, for a variety of pizzas. Pizza mozzarella, a pie with soft white cheese, red tomatoes, and green basil, was the kind the Queen liked best. Perhaps it was no coincidence that her favorite pie featured the colors of the Italian flag. The story goes that from then on, that mix of toppings was called Margherita pizza. Queen Margherita's approval of pizza could have started a craze all over Italy. But until the 1940s, pizza was not well known in Italy outside of Naples. But across the ocean, people from Naples who moved to the United States made their crispy pizzas in New York and other places like Trenton, New Haven, Boston, Chicago, and St. Louis just like they did back home. Millions of Europeans came to America in the late 1800s and early 1900s looking for factory jobs, just like the Neapolitans. They weren't trying to make a culinary statement. But pretty quickly, pizza's tastes and smells started to catch the attention of people who weren't from Naples or Italy. G. For Gennaro, Lombardi's on Spring Street in Manhattan got a license to sell pizza in 1905, making it one of the first pizzerias that we know about. Prior to that, the dish was homemade or purveyed by unlicensed vendors. John Mariani, the author of How Italian Food Took Over the World and a food reviewer, says that Lombardi's is still open, even though it is not in the same place it was in 1905. Pizza fans know that it can get heated when they talk about which slice is the best in town. But Mariani said that 3 East Coast pizzerias, Totonno's, which opened in 1924 in Coney Island, Brooklyn, Mario's, which opened in 1919 on Arthur Avenue, in the Bronx, and Peeps, kept up the 100-year-old practice. New Haven, opened 1925. As Italian Americans and their food moved from cities to suburbs and from the East Coast to the West Coast, especially after World War II, pizza's fame in the U.S. skyrocketed. It was no longer seen as ethnic food, but more and more as fast, fun food. Regional, definitely non-Neapolitan versions grew. And finally there were gourmet pizzas in California with toppings like smoked salmon or barbecued chicken. After the war, pizza finally got to Italy and other places. Just like blue jeans and rock and roll, pizza spread around the world, even to Italy, because it was an American thing to do, says Mariani. American chains like Domino's and Pizza Hut now have stores in about 60 different countries around the world. Pizza toppings around the world can be as different as Gouda cheese in Curaçao and hard-boiled eggs in Brazil. Now that you are 100% a pizza lover, don't forget to share this video to your pizza lover friends.